You're in Mecca. What else do you do? How else do you worship? What other acts of worship can you do? Very good. You can do i'tikaf in the masjid. Can't you do i'tikaf in any masjid? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said ayah in the Quran. وَعَهِدْنَا إِلَىٰ إِبْرَاهِيمَ وَإِسْمَعِيلَ أَنْ طَهَّرَا بَيْتِيَ لِلطَّائِفِينَ وَالْعَاكِفِينَ وَالرُّكَّعِ السُّجُودِ. And we made it mandatory on Ibrahim and Ismail that you cleanse, purify my house, meaning remove idol worship from it, for those who do the tawaf, and those who do i'tikaf, and those who pray, ruk'a sujud. We can do i'tikaf in Masjid al-Haram. A lot of people don't realize it. Have a niyyah of i'tikaf. By the way, in any masjid, this is true, and I just brought this hadith. This is just a general hadith. It's not necessarily for Masjid al-Haram, but if you apply, if this is true for any masjid, imagine what this means for Masjid al-Haram. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, hadith Abu Dawood, مجتمع قوم في بيت من بيوت الله تعالى يتلون كتاب الله ويتدارسونه بينهم. That no people gather in the houses of Allah and they recite the Quran and they teach each other the Quran, إِلَّا نَزَلَتْ عَلَيْهِمُ السَّكِينَةِ, except that sakina, malaika of sakina, they descend upon them. وَغَشِيَتْهُمُ الرَّحْمَةِ, and rahmah, mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala envelopes them. وَحَفَّتْهُمُ الْمَلَائِكَةِ, and angels surround them. وَذَكَرَهُمُ اللَّهُ فِي مَنْ عِنْدَهُ, and Allah mentions them, whoever is around Allah, meaning the upper mala'ul a'la, the highest top angels. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning you among them. This is for any masjid. Imagine if you're making i'tikaf and doing the dhikr and the Quran, and you're teaching each other Quran in Masjid al-Haram. You can imagine the significance of that. I'tikaf. How do you do i'tikaf? How long do you do i'tikaf for? Is there niyyah for i'tikaf? No. You just go in with the niyyah in your heart for i'tikaf. Okay? According to the Shafi'is, even 1 moment is long enough for i'tikaf. 1 moment. Okay? Hanafi and Hanbali, 1 hour minimum, meaning a sa'a. Like, it needs to be a healthy moment. It's still a moment, but it's a healthy moment, right? Maliki, they say 1 day. 1 day, which means 24 hours. It's only Maliki. But if you take, for example, the Hanafi Hanbali opinion, even 1 hour in the masjid. By the way, if you're coming for halaqah here, you can make the niyyah of i'tikaf. If you're coming for even salah, and if you stay 1 moment, just make a niyyah for i'tikaf, you're getting all those rewards. A lot of people don't take advantage of that. Make a niyyah of i'tikaf and you get reward for i'tikaf, inshallah. Okay? So this is how you do i'tikaf. Try not to sleep in the masjid, in Masjid al-Haram, because there's a lot of people there. There's no privacy there. It's very difficult to not have privacy, especially for sisters and even for brothers. If you're in ihram, well, you're not going to do i'tikaf in ihram, but you know what I mean. There's just no privacy, and there are really, okay, people are people, and bad people are bad people. There are even pickpocketers and bad people in Masjid al-Haram. I'm a witness. I've seen it so many times. I've grown up there, essentially, okay? I didn't grow up in Mecca, but I grew up in Jeddah, but we used to go all the time. There's horrible people in the masjid doing horrible things. So be careful. Don't assume everybody's pious, because they're not. And make sure your daughters are safe. Make sure your children are safe. Make sure you are safe. Okay? And there's pickpocketers, so that's why I put a belt on. Be careful, inshallah. Don't sleep there if you don't need to go in your hotel. So you do the i'tikaf during the day, no problem. Okay? Or at night, but don't sleep. Right? Okay. What else can you do? You can pray extra nawafil. Okay, if you're traveling, obviously, what are you supposed to do in travel? You're supposed to cut short your prayers, and you can skip the nafal part. You can skip the rawatib of sunnah. Well, when you're going for Umrah once in a lifetime, and you're getting 100,000 rewards for a salah, don't skip the nawafil, don't skip the sunnahs, don't pray as many sunnahs as you want to, because it just makes sense, because you want to get ajr. That's optional to skip. You don't have to skip. So you continue to pray as much as you can. So pray extra nawafil even in travel. You can make your salah short, but obviously you're not going to have short salah, because you want to catch as many salawat in the masjid as possible, right? And you're going to pray the full salawat there behind the imam. You're not going to lead, right? Right? May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us from among them. Okay, clear on the nawafil? Dua. Make tons of dua. Create a registry. Take a diwan of duas with you in English, Bangla, please. Okay, you can read the Arabic for barakah and it makes you feel good. But please focus on the meaning. Please focus on the meaning. Otherwise, it means nothing. Nothing to you. And if it's not to you, it's not a dua. What is a dua? You call out to Allah to ask Him something. If you have no idea what you're asking Him, is that a dua? Is it? No. It's not a dua. It's tradition. That's all it is. Okay. Do good deeds, people. Do good deeds. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Surah Al-Mu'minun, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ هُمْ مِنْ خَشْيَةِ رَبِّهِمْ مُشْفِقُونَ. This is the ayat I want you to recite in the khutbah today, the second part of Surah Al-Mu'minun, where the attributes of the believers are described. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is comparing them with the non-believers. He said, those who actually believe, they are afraid of their Lord. مِنْ خَشْيَةِ رَبِّهِمْ مُشْفِقُونَ. وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ بِآيَاتِ رَبِّهِمْ يُؤْمِنُونَ. And they believe in the ayat of Allah. وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ بِرَبِّهِمْ لَا يُشْرِكُونَ. They don't do shirk with Allah. وَالَّذِينَ يُؤْتُونَ مَا آتَوْا. And they give from what they have been given. It's not theirs. They have been given something. And they give from what they have been given. Sadaqah, Habibi. Give lots of sadaqah in Makkah, especially around the Haram. Who is eligible? There's going to be a lot of beggars, and they're not necessarily good. Avoid them who are asking, because they're professional beggars. The workers, they get paid nothing. They are literally slaves to the government. I don't want to get banned from Saudi, so I'm not going to say too much. They're literally slave to the government. They don't even have their passports. They can't even leave the country without permission. And they don't let them leave. And they pay them pennies a day. Give them sadaqah. The actual workers who are cleaning the masjid. They have nothing. Okay. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about these believers. أُولَٰئِكَ يُسَارِعُونَ فِي الْخَيْرَاتِ وَهُمْ لَهَا سَابِقُونَ. And that these believers, they are rushing to do good deeds, and they always want to be the first ones to do the good deeds. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us from among them. Gazing at the Kaabah. There's a weak hadith that you get lots of rewards just gazing at the Kaabah. It's a fabricated hadith. It's not true. However, if gazing at the Kaaba during Salah, for example, gives you more khushu', do it, no problem. Anything that gives you more khushu', do that. Anything that brings you closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Habibi, do that. Okay? Inshallah. If reciting a dua in Arabic makes you closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, do that. But please follow it up with the meaning. Inshallah. Okay. Praying at the hotel. Can I join the jama'ah because I'm just in the hotel right literally next? No. If the sufuf are not connecting to the hotel, you can't do that. You can't do it in your room. Not through the speaker. You can't follow the imam through the speaker. No, that's not salah. Okay? It's not salah. You're not getting a reward of the jama'ah. You shouldn't do that. Okay. All right. Another thing you can do. Farewell tawaf. Farewell tawaf. Now, for Hajj, it's mandatory. For Umrah, there's a difference of opinion. But just out of etiquette, before leaving, do a tawaf, the farewell tawaf. But you should be doing tawafs. Many. As many as you can. Salah, dua, itikaf, dhikr, sadaqah. Do good deeds. Be nice to people. Smile at people. Don't push people. Do stuff for people. For people. They're Allah's creation. That's good. Good deeds are all about doing things for others. Every single good deed is about doing things for others. Do as many of those as you can. And do as many tawafs as you can. One footstep, remember? One sin erased. One footstep, one sin erased. As many tawafs as you can. So farewell tawaf, just do that anyway, inshallah. And Ibn Abbas has a beautiful dua. It's in my notes. You can, yes. Yes.
One sin, is that a major sin?
Minor sins, barakallah fiqh. Minor sins. Major sins require tawbah. Major sins require tawbah. Minor sins, which we have tons of, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala erase them from our books, inshallah.